Welcome to my other video. This video is going to be addressing the VR furry situation. Now, with regular furries, you got a whole can of worms and all the kinds of things they're doing and their cons and things. And you give those people a VR headset that basically sends them into a virtual world where they can look like anything, be anything, do anything, which is just horrible because these people already think they can do everything and anything. And you get things like Phantom Sense. The amount of pedophiles that have come out of that community is insane. You get people like, they're going to do an expose on this like furry girl or woman, whatever it was, like a few years ago, like 2, 3, maybe like a few years ago at least. It's like doing weird like VR sex massages, and that was just horrible. And that was just so weird. And these people, they're doing everything, all of the time. They're contacting minors. They're having wildly inappropriate skins in places where they should not be wearing those. They're doing horrid, 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 horrid things. You know? Just massive, like, conventions in VR chat where they just do the craziest of things in their, little rooms and things that they're doing. They have entire worlds devoted to just furry sex. And our vibe, cuddle or sleep in VR, cuddle in VR, VR sex. Like, it's just so horrible, you know? It's just, it gets to a point, It boils my blood, you know? And even then, like, whenever you see a VR furry, there's a 50-50% chance that they're either the meanest person you've ever seen or they're really nice and they try to convince you, like, yo, you should come back to my little world. We can have some fun together. Like, stuff like that. Like, dude, like, I've never seen one of them that's even remotely good. I'm sure there's plenty of them out there, and with the places I go and the things I run into are probably some of the worst conditions on the entire app, which is something I've long since condoled about that. Yeah, I mean, like, just looking at the place I'm in the forest in front of a Chili's right now. It's not very ideal location to be, but, like, I'm saying, like, not an ideal location to be to find VR furries, and this is a private instance that I'm in recording these videos, but, like, it gets to a point where you're going to McDonald's, and there's, like, 3 furries in the back area, in, like, the popular McDonald's map, on, like, the playground, fucking around with each other, talking about, like, "Oh, yeah, I got this new butt plug." Like, "What? Why are you talking about that here, of all places? Why are you talking about that on the app to begin with?" It's just horrible, and it's just weird. Why are you talking about that? Why are you doing that? You know? It just gets to a point where, it's so insane that like half the world's on VR chat. You'll encounter one of them and in like their little subsections of like furry strip clubs and stuff like that. Because on VR chat, you can have racism, segregation. There's no vocal moderation in VR chat. So they get together and they do their little plans and plots and they make their little worlds and they segregate and they just have their little fucking conventions and orgies. And it just so horribly bad. It gets so horribly bad that you got people like, I'm allergic to phantom tomatoes. I am melting. You know? And then you got, oh yeah, we're VR married. We've been VR married for 3 years, bro. Have you ever met each other in real life? No. My lady doesn't want to do that. It just gets to a point where it makes me so inhumanly mad at these people for doing this. Like, what do you mean you're Sparkledorf, the magic reindeer? You know? It just makes me mad. Anyway, thank you for watching today's video. Or not today's video, I'm probably going to post multiple of these in one day. At the Chili's. This is probably going to be my new world where I just go off to and I just have my little rants, Because it's nice, it's peaceful, it's quiet, It's kind of funny, seeing me in the forest with the Chili's. Like, anyway, like I was saying, have a good day, everybody. I'll see you in the next one.